Yo Dodgers Nation. Dodgers fans. Baseball junkies. If you're not glued to your screen right now, hit pause and grab a snack because we've got a bombshell that's not just shaking the foundations of Major League Baseball, it's detonating them like a grand slam in extra innings. Freddie Freeman, the absolute heart, soul, and offensive engine of the Los Angeles Dodgers, just unleashed a statement that's got the entire league in a goddamn frenzy. I will never play for the Dodgers again. Boom. That's not just words, folks. That's a nuclear declaration of war on the franchise that minted him into a superstar. And trust me, this isn't some throwaway tweet after a bad loss. This is front office chaos erupting like Vesuvius, fan outrage boiling over into riots on social media, and a conspiracy so thick, so shadowy, you could swing a bat through it and still not clear the air. Let's break this down step by step, because what started as a single venomous phrase is unraveling into a full-blown saga of betrayal, ancient rivalries, and a potential team implosion that could redefine baseball forever. You ready? Buckle up because we're diving deep, deeper than a pitcher's sinker, and I'm not stopping until we've dissected every angle. Here we go. Picture this, my friends. Picture it vividly like you're right there in the thick of it. A packed locker room at Dodger Stadium, the air so thick with post-game sweat and unspoken tension you could slice it with a utility knife. The team's just wrapped a grueling series, maybe against the hated Giants or Padres, and the vibe is off, players exchanging those loaded glances, the kind that say more than words ever could. Whispers are flying, reporters are lurking outside like vultures, and then Freddie Freeman, the guy who's crushed .300 plus seasons, driven in runs like it's his second job, and anchored the Dodgers lineup for years, steps up in front of the cameras or drops it in an interview. I will never play for the Dodgers again, he says, his voice steady, eyes blazing with that fire we've seen in his at-bats. Social media erupts instantly. Fan forums explode like popcorn in a microwave. This isn't just a player venting frustration. This is a game changer, a controversial bombshell that screams, something's rotten in the city of angels, and it's got everyone from casual fans to hardcore analysts questioning reality. Who is he targeting? Is it a historic rival from his Atlanta days? A front office puppet master pulling invisible strings? Or is this the tip of an iceberg that's about to sink the Dodgers' entire dynasty, leaving the NL West wide open for the taking? People are furious, folks, absolutely furious. Dodgers fans are divided like a split-screen drama, some defending their icon as a truth-teller, others speculating on old grudges that could tear the team apart at the seams. This is the kind of drama that fuels YouTube breakdowns for weeks, months even, turning ordinary baseball into a cinematic thriller. And here's the crazy part. It's not just about Freeman. It's about the ripple effect, the unspoken threats, the way one man's words can ignite a powder keg. Rhetorical question time. How does a single statement from a superstar transform a championship contender into a powder keg of speculation? That's the raw power of baseball drama, my friends, and it's only escalating from here. Stay with me because we're peeling back the layers, and trust me, it's about to get wilder. Alright, let's rewind the tape and set the scene properly, because context is king in this mess. It all kicked off when Freeman's statement hit the wires, or should I say the rumor mill exploded like a bat cracking against a 100 miles per hour fastball. No official confirmation from the Dodgers yet, but insiders are leaking like a sieve in a monsoon, and the public reaction? Absolute, unfiltered shock. Fans are flooding Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok with hashtag Freeman outrage and hashtag Dodgers drama, calling it the ultimate betrayal of the blue and white. Why so strong? Because Freeman isn't just any player. He's the franchise's beating heart, the guy who signed that blockbuster 6-year, $162 million deal in 2022 to anchor the lineup and lead the charge for more rings. This statement implies he's drawing a hard, unyielding line in the sand, rejecting someone or something so deeply rooted in the team's fabric that he's willing to walk away from the organization that built him into a legend. Is it a contract dispute gone full nuclear with bonuses or extensions hanging in the balance? A brutal clash over playing time, where younger stars are encroaching on his turf? Or something darker, more insidious, like internal politics that could expose front office corruption, favoritism, or even sabotage from within? The outrage is real, palpable, because it threatens the Dodgers' very identity, a powerhouse built on loyalty, star power, and that intangible Dodger way that fans worship. Journalists are scrambling for quotes, analysts are dissecting every syllable, and every move the team makes now is under a goddamn microscope, from lineup changes to press conferences. Imagine the behind-the-scenes panic. GM Andrew Friedman pacing his office, owner Mark Walter on emergency calls, players whispering in the clubhouse. Rhetorical question. How does one statement turn a juggernaut like the Dodgers into a soap opera overnight, with fans speculating on everything from secret meetings to hidden agendas? That's the beauty, or the terror, of baseball drama, and it's building like a thunderstorm over Chavez Ravine. Here's the crazy part. This isn't isolated, it's feeding into a larger narrative of discontent. Remember those subtle hints from Freeman in past interviews? The way he dodged questions about team chemistry? Now it all clicks. Fans are outraged because it feels personal, like Freeman stabbing the franchise in the back after it invested millions in him. And the speculation? It's off the charts. Some say it's about a specific player he's clashing with, others whisper it's a broader rejection of management's direction. Whatever it is, the tension is ratcheting up and we're just scratching the surface. Let's talk about the man at the center of this maelstrom, Freddie Freeman. This guy's not just a player, he's a goddamn force of nature, a 12-time All-Star MVP caliber hitter who's redefined what it means to be a modern first baseman. His career stats? Off the charts. Over .300 batting average lifetime, .400 on-base percentage, .500 slugging. The Triple Crown threat who's racked up more than 300 home runs and 1,200 RBIs. He's the Dodgers' cornerstone, that immovable object in the lineup, signed to that massive deal to be the face of the franchise, the guy who turns good teams into great ones. But here's the backstory that makes this statement hit like a freight train. Freeman's journey with LA has been a roller coaster of highs and lows. He started his career with the Atlanta Braves, where he was a Brave for life. The hometown hero who nearly won a ring in 2021 before the Dodgers swooped in like vultures, or saviors depending on who you ask. They lured him west with promises of championships, bigger stages and that Hollywood glamour. And he's delivered. World Series appearances, NL pennants and individual accolades that put him in the Hall of Fame conversation. But whispers of discontent have bubbled up for years. Remember that 2023 season? Freeman battled nagging injuries, a wrist issue that sidelined him for chunks of the year, and there were rumors of friction with management over roster decisions, like when the team prioritized younger stars or made moves that diluted his role. Now fast forward to this bombshell. Is he targeting a specific player? A coach like Dave Roberts, who's been his skipper? Or even owner Mark Walter, the billionaire behind the scenes? The Dodgers aren't just a team, they're a billion-dollar empire with sky-high expectations, passionate fans who bleed blue, and a tradition of excellence that dates back to Sandy Koufax and Jackie Robinson. Fans expect perfection, and any crack in the armor, like this, sends shockwaves through the fanbase. Scouting reports on Freeman? Strengths: elite contact hitter with plate discipline that makes pitchers weep, Gold Glove defense at first base that turns routine plays into highlights, and clubhouse leadership that keeps egos in check. Weaknesses: age, he's 34 now and father time is no one's friend, injury history that could flare up, and apparently, a breaking point with team dynamics that we've seen hints of. Projections? If he bolts, the Dodgers lose their offensive anchor, dropping their run-scoring potential by 20 to 30% based on WAR metrics. That's like removing the engine from a race car mid-lap. This isn't just a player, it's a franchise-altering force, and his background makes the rejection feel like a personal vendetta. Fans are furious because they've invested emotionally in Freeman as the Dodgers' savior, and now he's flipping the script. What do you think? Is this the end of his LA chapter or a negotiation tactic? Drop your takes below because we're building to the conspiracy. Here's where it gets juicy, the conspiracy. Folks, this isn't random. Freeman's statement reeks of strategic manipulation, like he's part of a bigger, darker plan to expose the Dodgers' inner workings, the kind of plot that would make a thriller novelist jealous. Think about it, why now? Right after a season where the team underperformed despite a $300 million payroll, finishing with 100 wins but no ring? Insiders speculate he's rejecting a puppet. Maybe a high-priced free agent acquisition like Shohei Ohtani or Yoshinobu Yamamoto, whose massive contracts are disrupting chemistry and sucking up resources. Or is it a front office exec like Freeman, pulling strings from behind the curtain, making decisions that prioritize short-term wins over long-term loyalty? Is this a warning shot to management, a signal that Freeman knows about secret deals or leaks? Or worse, is there a mole in the organization feeding info to rivals like the Padres or Giants, turning internal drama into public warfare? I've heard whispers of old rivalries resurfacing. Freeman versus a former Brave now in LA, like someone from his Atlanta days who's crossed over and become a thorn in his side. Or tensions with stars like Mookie Betts over leadership. Remember those subtle digs in interviews? This screams conspiracy because it implies Freeman knows something we don't: dirty laundry, backroom deals, or a power grab that's been brewing for years. The league's in shock because if Freeman walks, it could trigger a domino effect. Forced trades, buyouts, even a fire sale that dismantles the roster. People are furious and rightfully so. This feels like a setup for chaos, a calculated move to force the Dodgers' hand. Rhetorical question. Is Freeman the puppet master or is he being played by unseen forces? The speculation is endless, with fans theorizing everything from contract sabotage to personal vendettas. Here's the crazy part. Imagine the behind-the-scenes meetings, Freeman huddled with agents, lawyers circling like sharks, the Dodgers scrambling to contain the fallout. It's not just a statement, it's a chess move in a high-stakes game, and the conspiracy thickens with every leak. Let's compare this to past MLB earthquakes because history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, and this is echoing louder than a stadium organ. Remember when Alex Rodriguez bolted from the Yankees in 2007, citing philosophical differences after years of tension? That rocked New York, led to a dynasty shift, and exposed the cracks in a powerhouse. Freeman's move echoes that, a star drawing a line, forcing the team's hand in a public spectacle. Or when Bryce Harper rejected the Phillies for free agency drama in 2018, holding out and nearly derailing the team's plans. Same vibe, ego, leverage, and a willingness to burn bridges. Compared to Dodgers history, think Kirk Gibson's iconic 1988 home run, but flipped on its head. Instead of heroics saving the day, it's rebellion threatening to sink the ship. League patterns? High payroll teams like the Dodgers often implode from internal strife. Look at the 2019 Astros cheating scandal, where whispers of discontent led to exposés, or the 2021 Mets meltdown under Steve Cohen, where star egos clashed and chemistry evaporated. This fits perfectly. A superstar rejecting the status quo, hinting at manipulation and imbalance. Rhetorical question. Is Freeman the next A-Rod, destined for exile, or is this just a bluff to renegotiate his deal and regain control? Fans are comparing it to soap operas like Breaking Bad, and the outrage is building. Why should one player's grudge threaten a team's legacy? Here's the escalation. In past cases, these rejections led to roster overhauls, like the Yankees trading A-Rod to Texas. Could Freeman end up with the Mets or Padres? The comparisons fuel the fire, making this feel like a pivotal moment in baseball lore. Now let's get tactical roster implications because this isn't just drama, it's a structural earthquake. If Freeman's out, the Dodgers' infield crumbles like a house of cards. First base? He's irreplaceable. Depth options like Gavin Lux, a solid utility guy with .270 averages, or Max Muncy, power but inconsistency, don't match his production. We're talking a 50-point drop in OPS. Salary dynamics? That $162 million deal eats up cap space like a black hole, freeing funds for what? A blockbuster trade for a hitter like Juan Soto, but at what cost to chemistry? Roster fit? Freeman's the glue, his leadership keeps egos in check, mentoring young guns like Will Smith. Development concerns? Smith might step up defensively, but offensively, projections show a 10 to 15 win drop without Freeman's run production. Positional issues. The lineup loses its heart, opening doors for rivals to exploit. Hypotheticals. Without him, the Dodgers might shift Lux to first, but it weakens shortstop depth. Fans are outraged because it exposes over-reliance on one man, a recipe for disaster in a sport where balance wins rings. Rhetorical question. Can the Dodgers patch this hole, or is it the beginning of the end? Scouting the fallout. Freeman's strengths, plate discipline, walks in 15% of at-bats, power, 29 HR in 2023, and clutch hitting, are unmatched. Weaknesses, durability, missed 40 games last year, age-related decline. Stats, 2023/.331/.410/.567, 7.2 WAR. Projections without him? Dodgers offense dips to mid-tier, run differential down 30 to 40. For the rejected player, say, a hypothetical like a high-profile import, strengths might include hype and speed, but weaknesses like poor fit could be fatal. If it's a rival, scouting reports suggest tension over roles. Big question. Can the Dodgers adapt? Analysts say no without major moves, and the league's imbalance tips further. Here's the deep dive. Compared to replacements, Freddie's WAR is elite. No one fills that void seamlessly. Rival teams? Laughing their asses off. Padres fans trolling with memes, Giants plotting trades. Media? ESPN's calling it Freeman's rebellion, with analysts like Pedro Martinez speculating on motives. Executives? Friedman sweating, rivals circling. Fans? Divided, some defend Freeman as a martyr, others call him a traitor. The outrage is palpable. Social media's a war zone. What? It threatens balance. Dodgers' dominance crumbles. People are furious because baseball's about loyalty. Zoom out. This reshapes the season. Dodgers miss playoffs, free agency shifts, league tilts. Conspiracy deepens. Power play for control? The narrative's epic. Folks, this is bigger than baseball, a conspiracy thriller. What do you think? Drop theories. Like, subscribe, bell for more.